morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradley's Fun. Oh, I can adjust that a little bit. Welcome in to Follow the Bradley's Fun, the Daily Dish, with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley. That's me. I'm here. You're here. And I hope that wherever you are having a phenomenal day, whether that's morning, evening, afternoon, middle of the night, dinner time, supper time, whatever you call it where you are, or perhaps breakfast time, as it is where I am. Somewhere sunny USA. Actually, everybody knows that I'm somewhere in Orlando. Although it's actually not sunny today. It's kind of overcast. As I look out my window here, let me see if I clean my glasses well enough. Oh, look, I can almost see now. What an amazing thing that is to be able to do, to be able to see. That's probably a good idea, since I'm going to be able to need to read some articles and all of that kind of thing. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Everybody's here early. We've already got gifties and all kinds of fun stuff going on in the chat. And McKenna and Jasmine. And Jasmine, were you named after that Jasmine that was... the Aladdin and Jasmine, because I'm just wondering if I should, sing to you or do the whole Aladdin thing. Do you trust me? I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. It's a little too early to be singing, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I am. We broadcast out of the Orlando area, somewhere in the Orlando area. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for being here so much this morning. I appreciate every single one of you coming through the door. As you know, especially on a Monday, we're getting a Monday started. Speaking of that, as of the recording of this, it is the 31st day, the last day of March 2025. If you're watching this on the replay, please comment below Replay Gang and also hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. And hopefully we get more and more and more viewers. Share this out on your social media. Subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Check that. Make sure you're still subscribed. That's also very, very important because YouTube is sometimes fishy with those subscription counts things. But you guys are, man, you make me do the show, not make me in a bad way, but motivate me to be here on the days when I'm tired and I don't want to get out of bed. You give me the energy that I need to be here. That like the Transformers, they had the Autobots and the Decepticons had their Energon. You are the Energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
Yes, indeed. And I've got it right here. The energy. You can see in blue. This is my 2019 mug. This was the last year that Disney was great for the full year, and then it's even then in 2019 there were some things that were going downhill. We didn't quite see it yet. I love Disney. I love traditional Disney. I love Walt Disney more than Bob Iger loves Disney, because he was a weatherman from ABC, and I just don't think he had the love for the parks. Not like Eisner had. Eisner was awesome. And the Eisner-Wells combo, before Wells was lost to us, unfortunately, boy, those Eisner-Wells days, those were some amazing days. That was the Disney decade. Remember, the 1990s was the Disney decade, and it gave us Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, the Lion King and Aladdin and Pocahontas, and what other things did the Disney decade give us? They gave us a whole bunch of stuff. Fantastic animation, fantastic new resorts at Walt Disney World. I mean, it was crazy good back then. And I never came to Walt Disney World during the 90s. I came in the 80s, came in the 70s, the 90s. It's ironic, but the Disney decade is the decade that I missed because, well, I was in my 20s, and when you get into your 20s, you start living your life and doing stuff that takes you elsewhere. I think I was a missionary during that time, and all kinds of other things. At the end of the 90s or the beginning of the 2000s, that's when you see that commercial that starts the show that I was in, that was made then, and all kinds of other fun stuff. So, but here we are with the show today. First, let me say hello to everybody that's coming in. I love seeing all of the familiar faces that pop in here during my morning show. Snortopoopas Q Burr, first in the house. Hello, humans and other critters. And he says, hello to me. Follow the Bradley's Fun. That's just that. Follow the Bradley's Fun is not just me, by the way. I run the channel, but that is our family channel. So it is Virginia and Xander and Zebediah and my mom sometimes, and Virginia's mom sometimes, and anybody who might be part of our big old Bradley family. McKenna says, hi, Ron. And I say, hi, McKenna. I'm glad I'm your favorite Disney expert. I hope that you like a series that we have coming up. McKenna, I was a former cast member. Adding up all the time that I spent at Disney, 2014, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. How many years is that? 14, 15, 16. I missed 17, but 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and part of 23. So eight and a half years I gave to being a cast member at the Walt Disney World complex. And I have stories that I have yet to reveal on this channel about my days as a cast member, because I wanted to make sure I was distanced enough that I don't get any trouble, and I don't want to get kicked out of the park, so if someone have access and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I have some stories of my time as a cast member, and those will be coming up on this channel. I know I've teased them before, but I know they're coming up now because I'm going to be doing them in conjunction with WDW Pro. So that should be happening sometime in the next couple of months. I'm not sure when the first one's going to come out, but then there's going to be a whole series that comes out. All right, so that service dog, woof, woof. Good morning, beautiful people. This is why I was asking if you were still in town. You were asking about restaurant recommendations. And I didn't know what your specifics were, if you were talking about specifically Disney World restaurants, but I would avoid the cake bake shop if you don't want to spend $30 on a slice of cake. Yes. So McKenna, Ruby Hoove gifted 1 membership to Chocolate Drop. Congratulations, Chocolate Drop, who I have interacted with before. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, so much for the generosity early on this morning, and we will talk about generosity in a minute. I will get back to that because we're going to celebrate it when we talk about celebrations. Thank you for loving this channel, and I hope that you're liking this video. Echo's Heart is here. Appreciate that. And Jasmine, McKenna's friend, is here. Yes, the music was still playing. Sometimes I talk in the background of the music a little bit just to say hi to people. OCDD, who is not Diddy, is here. Yes, indeed. I agree with this. Rip Splash Mountain. It was so good. And I love Tiana, the character. I don't like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, or as I call it, Broccoli Mountain. If you haven't listened to Broccoli Mountain or Broccoli Hill on the channel yet, I recommend it. It's funny. It's a parody. Yeah, Broccoli Hill, not a good thing. Alan Gamer 1, 2, 3. Good morning. And Andy W, also good morning. And my mom, also good morning. Is here. Energy. And Jesus Ceballos Jr., the Cuban Superman, is here. MGM Studios and Animal Kingdom on the 90s. Yes. Go and Shogi is in the house. Our great mod Go and Shogi is here. Native One, aloha and good morning, y'all. This show motivates me too. It's my workout time. Just finished running on the trampoline. Now, time for a resistance band. Oh, get those guns going. Guns. I gotta get my guns back. I was working out and I kind of lost it. I gotta get back to it. I'm trying to get back to it today. That's what this is for. This is my pre-workout energy. After the show, I got to work out. How about if I commit it to you guys? Then I have to do it, right? The backside of Te Fiti. Yes, indeed. And the brown water is running down the backside of Te Fiti. Yes, 100%. I would have loved a Tiana ride if it had been its own ride. What they should have done, let's say that they really wanted to change the island, keep Rivers of America, and why you could just literally change it to Tiana's Island, Tom Sawyer's Island. You could have put the ride on the island. It's big enough. There's a way to do it. It would have been very interesting. I'm not sure how you would have done the queue because you would have had to get the queue over there. But yeah, it could have been really interesting with a restaurant and a ride. And I don't know, something could have happened. But I would have loved to have had Tiana's Bayou Adventure be its own brand new, not log flume ride. It's a ride through the bayou. How it's a log flume is beyond me. The theming is so off. It's amazing to me that we used to have Imagineers that used to think about every single detail of theming. And I always say that the comparison that I use is in Epcot and Hollywood Studios. When they were designing Hollywood Studios, they realized that the Tower of Terror was sticking up behind Morocco in Epcot, and you could see the back of the Tower of Terror. And so Imagineers, being as good as they were back then, they said, well, let's make it so that the backside of the Tower of Terror looks like a building that would fit in to the Moroccan skyline. And yeah, if you're in Epcot and you look over at Morocco, you can't tell that that's the Tower of Terror in Hollywood Studios because it looks like part of the skyline of Morocco in Epcot. That's how good Imagineering used to be. What the hey diddle diddle and the kitty in the middle happened? I have no idea. But thank you guys so much for being here today, because what happened to this channel is you, the greatest audience in all of YouTube, Ruby Hoove gifting one membership that deserves what we call a celebration, and we are in fact going to celebrate. I'll show you what a celebration looks like real quick.
Is it too much? Too much? It's just perfect!
Oh, this is just the best of us. Yes, indeed, Jonathan. Good morning. Being humble is a wonderful thing. And here's the thing. You can be confident, but also humble. How do you be confident and be humble? Well, there is a video, and I have highlighted before, Rachel Zegler going, I hope that every time I win and the people hate me, the people will still line up for me. That is not humility. And it's really not, it's not confidence, it's arrogance. Okay. I know sometimes there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. What's up, Tom? Good to see you here. And that fine line would be like, look, I know what I'm doing when I dance, when I sing, when I act. First of all, I know I'm not the greatest. Okay. Can I sing? Yes. Can I prove that I can sing? Sure. I will sing to McKenna's friend Jasmine. Okay, this is proof that I can do it, that I'm confident enough in it that I will do it. Okay, but I'm not going to say that I'm the greatest at it, and I don't expect anybody to be lining up for me at any time. And if it ever happened, wow, that'd be amazing. I'd be so humbled. I'd be grateful. But am I going to be like, I just expect people to line up for me? No, I will never do that. Okay, Jasmine. Let me see. I'm not really warmed up. I apologize. But just trying to think. I can't even really hear myself, so I'm going to kind of do this. Ready? I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, where to go. Say we're only dreaming. Okay, that's not my, honestly, my throat's a little stuffed and I'm not warmed up at all. But catch me later in the day and I can do it a lot better. I could sing Waiting on a Wish. Waiting on a wish of 1,000 treetops. No. It was like when I met you at Epcot and we sang the song. Yeah. And then got requests, but we're just having fun and chatting. Exactly. Just fun singing. If you're singing for fun, for a good time, you enjoy yourself and you don't have the worst voice in the world, and I hope I don't have the worst voice in the world, it's fine. But you can't be like, I'm Rachel Zegler and I'm just so good. People will line up to see me even if I'm broken. I can tell you that people are not lining up to see the new Snow White. Because I'm going to share this real quick. Now, I'm going to do things a little bit out of order today because I'm going to share this right away. Check this out, folks. Out of the numbers, Snow White. I don't know. Can you guys see it, or do I need to blow it up a little bit? I don't know if I can blow that up. I got it right there in the center of the screen. Is there a way to blow that up? It's probably a way to do it. I'm not really good at all that technical stuff. So you can see that out of the numbers, the number one movie at the box office this weekend, this is Disney's. Think about this. This is Disney's Snow White. If this movie was what it could have been, it should have been number one for like 6 weeks in a row and become $1.5 billion project, like Lilo and Stitch will most likely be. But man, oh man, with 4,200 theaters, this only hit 14.2 estimated million dollars, 14.2 million estimated dollars this weekend at the domestic box office, which is crazy because that is less than Working Man, which was Jason Statham's brand new film, hit the box office this weekend. But the film had only 3,200 theaters, had 1,000 theaters less than Disney Snow White, and still pulled in more revenue. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. That is so crazy right there. It's crazy because this is a Disney film. How did that happen? Yeah, I mean, you can put it in the comments of what you thought of the movie. I won't go see it. I'll see it on Disney Plus eventually. I'm gonna have to watch it for that and all. My review will be like that super late review coming in because I didn't want to go to the theaters to support it because Rachel told me not to. She's like specifically calling me out as a person and saying, "Hey, if you're one of those people, don't go see it." So I can't go see it. I gotta take Rachel at her word. Yes, that is the domestic chart. Australia may have loved it, but it's not making enough at the box office worldwide to make up for what it's losing here in the United States. I think the worldwide box office, and I have that here. Let me see. Let's go to Disney Snow White. The worldwide box office, the total revenue for the film after 2 weeks in theaters is $143 million. Okay. And just so you know how the budgets work, the production budget was 270 million. So it hasn't quite made about half the production budget back. Okay. Not, but then after the production budget, there is the cost of reshoots, which ballooned it over to over 300 million at least. Then there was the advertising budget, which is probably another 100 million. I don't know that they spent as much advertising this, but they probably spent $100 million because that's usually their typical ad spend is about 150 million. So if you put that all together, this movie cost a minimum of $400 million to make, which means they need to make a minimum of $800 million back at the box office for this thing to break even. And after 2 weeks, it's only sitting at 143 million worldwide. The international, and it's not on the screen here. Let me put it on the screen. There you go. So you've got domestic 66.8 million total, international 76.3 million total, worldwide 143 million total. And I think that if they would have remade Snow White and expanded the story of the prince and Snow White, I actually think that would have made a much better movie. If Rachel Zegler, her take was that the prince was stalking Snow White, which is a ridiculous take. But even if let's say that some people thought that, well, wouldn't that be the perfect time to take the story of the prince and expand it so we can see that he's not stalking her at all, but Snow White and the prince have actually fallen in love. Because if you look at the beginning of Snow White, the original classic, it's very clear that the prince and Snow White had met before the time that you see them meeting in the movie was not the first time they met. And it's very clear from the context that that was the case. So I would love to see that love story, maybe the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie. And the queen should be completely caught up in vanity. And Snow White should look like a porcelain doll. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that a lot, Jonathan. Renting the castle. That's funny. I think they did rent a castle, but it was for the video Waiting on a Wish. Yeah. Look, if you liked the new Snow White, that's fine. That's okay. But my issue is it's nothing at all like the classic Snow White, and to me, it is not Snow White. They changed her character completely. They made it into a different person, and they still called her Snow White. And I don't think that was the right choice. I think that you could have had a better actress, a better singer, somebody that sounded a lot more like Adriana Castellotti. Adriana Castellotti was the original Snow White actress, and she was supposed to sound like a child with that very sweet and innocent voice. Rachel's speaking voice is where I have a huge issue, by the way. I just don't think that she sounds at all like that. By the way, yeah, no, I look, I totally understand. Unfortunately, I cannot get past the fact that she has not apologized for literally hating me and telling me that she wishes me that I never ever know peace again in my life. So the fact that she hasn't apologized for her hatred, if she apologized, that'd be a different case, which was the highlight of my video that I did yesterday. Like I highlight that there was a way that she could have gone about a video actually apologizing for what she has said. And yes, watch my video from yesterday, McKenna, that I put out, and you'll see that she literally said that she wanted more than half of the United States of America to never ever know peace. Yes, that's exactly. It was in an Instagram post, and she never truly apologized for it. So I have a lot more issues with that than her. Well, she insulted Walt Disney and the original Snow White several times, but she also went very back and forth with how she felt about the original Snow White. I don't know what she is in real life. I mean, I don't think she's evil. I just think she's misguided. I would say she is misguided. What is up, Erica? I saw you pop in here, by the way. Oh, speaking of Erica coming in, I wanted to thank you guys. Yeah, her PR team, that wasn't even it never apologized. An apology has to say, I am sorry. Those words those words I don't think will ever come out of any Disney entity. That really, really bothers me. But like, you cannot apologize without the words, I am sorry. My heart is full of sorrow. I have a broken heart and a contrite spirit, and I'm sorry. Oy. Anyhow. The celebrations, getting back to the celebrations, why did we celebrate Ruby Hoove's gifted membership? For those of you that may be new or watching the replay or don't know, I love to celebrate all of you watching because you're the greatest audience on YouTube. So anytime there is a super sticker, super thanks, super chat, a gifted membership like this one from Ruby Hoove. Sometimes we get multiple gifted memberships. Sometimes if you become a member of the channel on your own during the show, and I see that, or there is a membership milestone chat, or perhaps there's a PayPal, buy me a coffee, or somebody buys something from the spread shop. like the Make Disney Waltz Again hat that I'm wearing, for example. We've got the spread shop available, any type of that. And by the way, if you do buy something from the spread shop, just let me know in the chat. And all of these, I love this t-shirt. T-shirt has a really good look to it. And by the way, the quality of these items, they are so good. But yes, any of that support, that financial support that I get from you guys so I can keep doing this show, I am going to, of course, celebrate that. And we showed you a small version of it earlier. I have several celebrations, but I'm going to show you exactly what one might look like now as we celebrate the gifty from Ruby Hoo. Very cool, McKenna. You're a Broadway kid. I never went to Broadway. I ended up in shows in Branson, Missouri, professionally, not Broadway. But I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I did a 3-year run of that, and because of that, one of my best friends now is a former Miss America, Kelly Cash. She's also Johnny Cash's great niece. I took a drink of that, went down the wrong way. Tell you one thing we do on the show, we keep it real because we can't do it any other way. But yes, so I don't think Waiting on a Wish is a bad song. I think it's not the right song for Snow White. Snow White's already has her song list, and it is I'm Wishing. It is One Song. It is Someday My Prince Will Come, Hi Ho, and Whistle While You Work. Gal Gadot's song that she sang as the Evil Queen. I don't like it. Waiting on a Wish, not a bad song, just doesn't belong in Snow White because Snow White was never waiting on a wish. If you watch the original Snow White and you realize what she was doing, she says, she's like talking to the animals, she's being cute, and she's like, this is a wishing well. And if I hear an echo, I know my wish is going to come true. So she immediately, she's like manifesting basically her desires, not just wishing. So she's like, I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. So, and then the prince finds her, which means that she already loves him. Like she, in other words, they have met before. There's a lot of context clues there, and it's very, very short, but it's all there. What is up, Juliet? And good to see you in the chat. So we're going to get more to Snow White at the end of the show. So yeah. But before we do, I actually have a Disney World story that I want to get to. By the way, we are redirecting to Culture Casino right after this today. And before we get to the other bad news about Snow White, we want to get to what probably is good news if you're going to Disney World. It's not great news for Disney, but it is good news for the guests because of Epic Universe coming. I think that this is going to end up being a good thing. So yes, while the Walt Disney Company has said that they're not, oh, wait a second. Now I got to stop. Now I got to stop the show because it just popped up before the story. Go, Chunky. Gifted 5. Follow the Bradley's Fun memberships. Oh my goodness, look at this. Cindy Charming. That's a great name right there. She must be the prince's sister. Cindy Charming, Sharon Grouse, Akron's Rubberman, Malachi McCrae, and Emily Shepard 8784. Congratulations. And if you are already a member of the channel, get your member emojis ready because it is time to celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo!
Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
Oh, I'm still dancing. But yes, we do got to get to the stories today. So Walt Disney World, the executives have said that they're not worried about Epic Universe. They actually think maybe it will help Walt Disney World and bring in more business. But for some reason, at the same time, Walt Disney World has issued a lot of discounts for some reason right at the beginning of this summer. So we're going to put this article on the board. This is out of thatparkplace.com. And if you are not bookmarked to thatparkplace.com, I highly suggest bookmarking it. Let's see. This is actually by WDW Pro. Anybody ever heard of WDW Pro? Yes, indeed. The man, the myth, the legend, WDW Pro, written on March 28th, 2025, Disney World drastically cuts prices for spring and summer discounts may indicate market share concern over Universal Studios' Epic Universe. And there's the House of Mouse and the beautiful, magical Cinderella's Castle. Walt Disney World's latest round of special discounts and promotions for spring through fall 2025 paints a clear picture. The House of Mouse is feeling pressure. Typically cautious with discounting strategies, Disney World's announcement of a deeply discounted 3-day, 3-park magic ticket starting at just $89 per day underscores its strategic concern about Universal Studios' highly anticipated Epic Universe opening. Additional 50% cuts for children's tickets and slashed hotel costs, along with the return of the dining plan, all add up to huge savings for families interested in meeting Mickey. Actions speak louder than words. Disney's actions are far more powerful in terms of cutting prices than anything we've seen in recent history. This was a post out of X by Montana Ross Travel Run Lift. New Disney World deals for summer 2025. Free dining plan. Free dining plan. Kids get 50% off tickets. That's huge because I've never seen them do that before. Up to 30% off Disney resort stays or 35% for Florida residents. Oh my goodness gracious. The travel agents are going crazy. The three-park magic ticket provides admission to Epcot, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, but notably excludes Magic Kingdom, the iconic heart of Disney World. Historically, Disney has offered a popular four-day, four parks magic ticket that included the Magic Kingdom as flagship attraction. The absence of this option in 2025 is telling. Disney is clearly attempting to redistribute visitor traffic to parks less likely to attract guests spontaneously, especially Animal Kingdom. By the way, Animal Kingdom, currently the best park at Disney, just saying. This approach suggests Disney is not merely accommodating demand, but actively shaping consumer behavior out of necessity. Perhaps they believe Magic Kingdom can hold interest as Epic Universe opens, whereas the other parks may not be able to do so under current pricing strategies. The timing is no coincidence. It's not a coinky dinky. With Universal Studios Epic Universe set to open around Memorial Day weekend 2025, industry insiders have speculated that about the impact it will have on Disney's attendance. Epic Universe promises an impressive array of new attractions aiming directly at capturing the imagination and wallets of families visiting Central Florida. Disney's unprecedented promotional efforts early in the year, combined with the specific park restrictions of these tickets, implies significant concern about losing market share. Of course, they're going to lose market share. I mean, look, this is a picture promoting Epic Universe concept art for Super Nintendo World at Universal's Epic Universe, with, of course, the star of the show himself. It's me, it's Mario. Welcome to Epic Universe. You know, that's where the kids are going to want to go. You can't tell me that there's a kid out there who's going to be like, oh, I want to see Mickey over Mario. I don't see that happening. Sorry. Moreover, the aggressive pricing strategy highlights Disney's willingness to break from tradition. Disney World historically maintained higher ticket prices and only occasionally offered moderate discounts, relying on its unrivaled brand loyalty and immersive experiences. Yet, the current discounts suggest Disney recognizes it can no longer assume its guests will remain exclusively loyal, particularly given the looming presence of Epic Universe. This competitive environment is undeniably beneficial for consumers. Yay, we win. Woohoo. That's a good thing, right? Well, this whole thing just moved on me. Where did you go? the whole screen just kind of moved on me. There we go. I'll just move this up. This competitive environment is undeniably beneficial for consumers. As Disney and Universal enter into an increasingly fierce pricing competition, visitors can expect even more attractive offers, creative ticketing solutions, and an enhanced value from both companies. Competition's good for us, right? Yay! This dynamic pushes theme parks to not only lower prices, but also elevate guest experiences to stand apart. There's a tremendous rundown of how this plays out in terms of consumer choices long-term over on Disney Tourist Blog. I think this is an excerpt of that. If this ticket deal is less popular, that could come back to bite them, as it potentially means even fewer people heading to Animal Kingdom. In turn, that makes me wonder whether we've actually seen the last of the Magic Ticket special offers for summer 2025. If early sales of this three parks Magic Ticket are slow, it wouldn't be the least bit surprising to me to see Walt Disney World scramble to roll out a four parks Magic Ticket after Easter. That would actually make perfect sense, as Magic Kingdom isn't going to have any near-term issues with attendance for the next few weeks anyway. A version that includes Magic Kingdom could have blockout dates around the debut of Disney Starlight Night Parade and the summer holidays, or just spike in price for those dates, or it could even require reservations, even if only for Magic Kingdom. That's Tom Bricker out of Disney Parks, Disney Tourist Blog. WDW Pro goes on to state Disney's strategy clearly aimed at retaining visitors who might be tempted to extend their stays or shift entirely to Universal positions consumers as the ultimate winners. Vacationers now have an unprecedented opportunity to experience top-tier parks at significantly reduced costs. Families planning trips this summer will likely enjoy additional perks, better deals, and a broader range of choices than in previous years. Ultimately, while Disney's moves reveal underlying concerns about Epic Universe, the ensuing battle for market share is unquestionably positive for theme park enthusiasts. Visitors will benefit from Disney's unusual willingness to discount, driven by the fierce competition posed by Universal Studios. It's a classic win-win scenario. Theme parks innovate, visitors save money, and Central Florida continues thriving as the global epicenter of family entertainment. Yes, indeed. So, what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, or of course, if you're live here in the chat. Do you think that these discounts are actually going to help out the House of Mouse? Do you think that they are in response to Epic Universe, or is this just something that they do every year? Or do you think that they won't help out the House of Mouse and people are still going to flock to Epic Universe, even though the ticket prices this summer are as high as $179 before tax for adults? So let us know in the comments below. And, if you're here in the chat, obviously right now, and we shall see. Let's see who we got. Also, we do have a goal, by the way, of supers. Supers are different because the supers are the only thing you can put the goal to. I wish you could put the goal to memberships. I wish you could put the goal to super stickers, but they're only for super chats. But if you do have something that you do want to highlight with the super chat, feel free. And I will do, if I reach 5 today, I'm going to do a private Q&A session for people. Hello, Sin. I see you in the chat. And OCDD93 is there, and everybody's saying hi. That's good. But I do want to get to, and we don't have a huge amount of time left, so I want to get to this last story here. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. We want over here. It will help some, but it won't be the fix that Disney hopes it will be. You know what? Disney, I think the biggest challenge with Disney is, and Erica, I think you're like I am. We want so badly to love Disney. By the way, also by the way, this shirt that I'm wearing, Orlando JC Films Production Club. Okay, you can see that. I'm in a few different movies that are available online with Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo from JC Films. So please, if you get a chance, go and check those out. The biggest one being Not For Sale, Florida. You can just look it up, pretty much find it. Dean Cain, Not For Sale, you find it. And it highlights the human trafficking issues that we have as we try to solve those issues. So it's a good thing. Yeah, I agree, Erica. I just don't think it's going to be a quick fix. I think Disney's losing a lot of market share because of things that they've said in the past. And again, I think that the market is also shifting right now in a big way. And a big problem with Disney, especially when you're in entertainment, is you have to start entertainment, like production movies and things, far in advance of where the market's going to be when they come out. And you're trying to predict the market, how the market's going to be in 2 or 3 years. For example, Snow White, I think that started pre-production talks in like 2016. It took it 9 years to actually come out. So, yeah, it's kind of a mess. I'm trying to see these other comments. Yes, and this is true. All the construction going on at Disney will hurt them. So I was at Animal Kingdom the other day. I was live streaming, and you may have seen it. And I specifically wanted to get the walls that are up at Animal Kingdom. It's a huge section of what used to be Dino Land. Thank goodness they still have the Boneyard open. I just hope and pray somehow a version of the Boneyard stays, because the kids need that. They have no other place to play at Walt Disney World. People want to feel like they're getting a deal, not a handout. Disney keeps missing the mark. That is true. Disney will need to keep the discounts going to be competitive. Some may feel it's a rip because no discount for Magic Kingdom and all vacations are no longer bundled. You only get to choose one discounted item. Yeah, that kind of stinks. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of issues going forward. We'll see what happens. That's for sure. We already know what is happening with Snow White. Disney's Snow White is in its second weekend of release at the movie theaters, and as predicted, it's not doing as well as Disney, I'm sure, would have hoped. Unfortunately, it's not only doing as bad as some speculated, it's doing far, far worse than some had ever speculated that it could do. Not only, not only has it gone downhill, but in its second weekend of release with no real blockbuster competition, it actually lost its spot in first place to a Jason Statham action movie. And now I love Jason Statham, don't get me wrong, and I really enjoy his action movies, and I love his accent. Yeah, I'm Jason Statham, and I'm going to shoot a few people up here. No, it's great, but I would have never expected that Snow White would have taken second place in its second weekend. But we have a story out of thatparkplace.com, and this is written by M. Montanaro. Snow White crashes 70% in second weekend box office drop. Rachel Zegler and Disney on track to lose #1 spot to patriotic action movie, A Working Man. A Working Man, starring me, Jason Statham. After months of controversy, inflated budgets, and PR meltdowns, Disney's live-action Snow White looks like it will be knocked off the top of the box office with a devastating financial drop. Not by a billion-dollar franchise. No. Not by an Oscar bait drama, but by a Jason Statham action flick with a modest budget and a title that sounds like a Home Depot ad. That's a good point. It does kind of sound like a Home Depot ad. A Working Man. There's the official trailer on MGM Studios. Of course, we cannot play that because we like to stay in good with the YouTubes. A Working Man, an unassuming thriller about a decorated military veteran rescuing a kidnapped girl, is tracking to take the #1 spot this weekend with a current box office take of $15.2 million as of this writing. Meanwhile, Snow White plummeted nearly 70% from its already dismal debut, pulling in just $14.2 million in its second frame. Let's be clear, this isn't just a loss, it's a rejection. Yes, this is a flat-out rejection. Oish! The fairest flop of all. Disney spent over $250 million producing Snow White, and that's before marketing. They jetted Rachel Zegler around the world for months, filled social media with carefully curated promo spots, and propped up their star through puff piece interviews and choreographed red carpet moments. They worked overtime to repair the damage Zegler caused by mocking the original film, trashing the idea of love stories, and framing her version of Snow White as a symbol of activism. And it still wasn't enough. There is Dopey, or as I like to call him, Mr. Nightmare Fuel. The fairest flop of all was knocked out by a film called A Working Man. That's not just a box office defeat, it's a cultural gut punch. It's a moment that confirms what audiences have been whispering for years. They're tired of lectures and reboots. The people just want to be entertained. David just beat Goliath with a pipe wrench. Let's compare the two films. A Working Man. Modest production budget, starring Jason Statham, not a headline-grabbing celebrity. Released with little fanfare, directed by David Ayer, not exactly a household name. Patriotic themes, a veteran rescuing an innocent girl from criminals. Snow White, $250 million plus budget, based on Disney's first ever animated classic, marketed globally for months, progressive modern audience social justice themes, and yet A Working Man is beating it. By the way, I don't know if it's going to be highlighted in this article, but A Working Man was released in 1,000 fewer theaters fewer screens, has 1,000 fewer screens in the United States than Snow White, which is really, really crazy to think. That tells you everything you need to know about where the audience trust is right now. No IP, no legacy, no marketing machine, just a simple classic premise that respected its audience and respected itself. Snow White and the 70% drop. Snow White opened with $45 million, already far below Disney's expectations. And to be more specific on that, last weekend it was 42.2 million. So there's a lot of estimates. But a nearly 70% drop from that base is brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. It's worse than the 53% drop the industry was bracing for, and it officially puts Snow White on track to struggle to reach $100 million at the domestic box office. That is a disaster. A disaster. Snow White is becoming a disaster movie. What's going on? Wow, it's so extreme. Especially for a film that cost Disney more than $250 million to make and still needs to claw back hundreds of millions of more just to break even. That's right. As I pointed out earlier, you got to get to about $800 million for this film to break even, according to the estimates that we have. We'll see. I mean, if it stays in movie theaters till August, maybe. There's Zegler waiting on her wish. Audience didn't just skip Snow White, they embraced its competition. So what happens now? Disney is scrambling. There's no spin that saves this. The press can try to soften it, but the reality is simple. Snow White isn't just underperforming, it's collapsing. And it's not just about the box office numbers, it's about the cultural moment. This was Disney's attempt to repackage a beloved classic as a vessel for modern messaging, to frame a once beloved fairy tale as a fix-it project, and it blew up in their faces. Jason Statham didn't just win the weekend, he exposed the entire machine. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Did you go see Snow White? Did you love Snow White? Did you not like Snow White? Or are you even going to go see Snow White? Let us know in the comments below. Why did it take such a drastic drop, and why did Jason Statham's movie, of all things, overcome Snow White in Snow White's only second weekend to become the #1 box office movie in the United States of America? Well, likely the spin will be that Snow White is still the #1 movie in the world. I expect to see marketing like that this week. Snow White, #1 movie internationally. We'll see what happens. But yeah, crash and burn, I'm telling you. I'm so late, Izzo's Place. That is okay. That is okay. You can be late because we are going to send you right over to Culture Casino anyway, and it's going to be great. Minecraft's going to make a ton of money. That is true. I believe Minecraft will make a ton of money. And Go and Shogi says this will be interesting. Rachel's biggest meltdown is still coming. They're going to pull Snow White sooner than later, and because there's zero chance it goes on to become a Mufasa type run. That is true. And Mufasa came close to breaking even, but probably did not quite break even. Some people estimate that it made like maybe $20 million in profit. I'm guessing that there are spends on that we did not see, according to WDW Pro, and I have to believe WDW Pro because he is the insider on all this stuff. Pro knows. And he says Mufasa is still a flop. It is. And by the way, it wouldn't even matter. It needs to, these things need to make big profits, but they're just not doing it. And Disney doesn't want to invest in their biggest profit center, which is their parks, and their biggest park, Walt Disney World, or not park, but biggest resort, Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom are Disney's biggest money makers, and they're about to destroy the Magic Kingdom with Rivers of America if they continue to go through with that. It's just weird. It's really weird. I would have never, ever thought that the Walt Disney Company of all companies would go downhill the way it has. And I really, really hope and do pray for a turnaround. I do not want the Walt Disney Company to crash and burn. I want the bad ideas to crash and burn so that they can learn from that and become the Walt Disney Company that they're supposed to be. Make Disney Walt again. But you know who is everything you are supposed to be? That is you guys out there watching, the best audience in all of YouTube. Thank you so much for the gifties today. We've got Ruby Hoove gifted membership. We've got Going Shogi 5 gifted memberships. 6 brand new members of the channel today. And for that, we have to celebrate. How are we going to celebrate this time? The Dancing Bear. We're going to send you right over to the Dancing Bear Culture Casino in just a minute. So everybody going over to Culture, please say hi from me. Let them know that you're coming in to raid Culture Casino. I think he's just getting started right now because I just got the notification. And be sure to stay tuned to the channel because we've got some things coming up. We visited Terra Luna, Stella Nova, the new Epic Universe Resorts. We've got that video coming up. And we are working very, very hard to get out a video a day for the month of April. So we're going to start today, put out a video later today when we get to it. And here we go. So yeah, until then, we'll see you tomorrow. See you next time. See you real soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Say hi to Culture from me on the way into the Culture Casino 6-Minute Daily. And until next time, ciao, everybody. I got to find the outro. Ciao, everybody. Bye.